Hi, this is Brendan Durbin from HuntleyVoice.com. Today I'm talking to Lisa Neal, who's the first editor-in-chief of the paper from 97 to 98. Thanks for coming, Lisa.
Thanks for having me.
So how did you first get involved in the paper?
Well, like we talked about earlier, that was the first year of the newspaper, and so it was one of those kind of take it as a class. There wasn't a huge turnout. Our school was really small at the time, so I just kind of signed up for the class and showed interest in becoming editor-in-chief. Somehow I ended up being a huge part of the newspaper.
What were you interested in writing about when you were in high school? What kinds of things did you talk about?
You know, we didn't talk about much more beyond what was going on in the high school and around us. We did a lot of articles about our sports, about new classes, things that were going on with teachers, movies that were coming out, restaurants that were opening up. At that time was when Lake in the Hills was starting to boom, so things were opening up over there, and so we kind of did a lot of articles just kind of in our community.
What kind of made the newspaper different from other classes that you took in high school?
There was definitely a lot more just group participation in the newspaper. We sat in like pods. We worked together with getting our articles together, coming up with new ideas. We kind of had more freedom. Mr. Brown was like, "All right, go for it," and we started working on our researching, our calling around. We had a little office next to our classroom that we used to go in, and we would make our phone calls and try to do some research.
And then what was one thing from the class that you took away, and then how does that affect you now?
I think one of the things that I took away was definitely learning how to multitask and organize my time. We had deadlines, and we had to have a process to get things in and get things done in a timely manner. So that, I think, I definitely has stayed with me and use that today.
And going from after high school to college, what were you doing kind of after pubs? And I know you said in our interview over the phone that you studied to become a preschool teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go to school? What kind of things were you doing between then and your job as a teacher?
I went right to Western Illinois University, and it was a little too big and a little too overwhelming coming from a small little town of Huntley. So I chose to come back and start off at MCC instead. And with being around, I ended up marrying my high school sweetheart, and we started a family. So it kind of, we started the family and worked as a preschool teacher. And after we had about 3 kids, I just decided to stay home with them and be a mom.
Okay. Going back to the class, what was your favorite story that went into the paper?
Mr. Brown, he was very motivational to all of us in the classroom, and one of the things that he had was the McDonald's bag on the wall, and he used to point to it and remind us that we need to put our minds to it and we need to try hard, or otherwise we're going to be working at McDonald's for the rest of our lives and not doing the things that we want to do. So he always had a lot of push.
Okay. Is there anything that you took away from the class that you kind of just still remember today? Like, I don't know, could be something just memorable, just a story or a time when you were working with a student or anything like that that you can remember back to?
I remember one time in particular, a friend of mine, she was the editor for the opinion section. So we used to go out to eat dinner all the time, and we went to one restaurant. We couldn't find it for the life of us, and we finally found it, and it was like the worst meal we've ever had. But it was things like that that, I never would have gone to, any of the restaurants that we had done, but it was just a lot of fun. It was, you got to talk to people that I wasn't friends with, but became friends in the process, and so it was definitely a fun experience.